There was a time when a handshake meant something, a promise carried weight. A person's word was often enough. Today, before we believe a message, we ask who sent it. Before we buy a product, we read the reviews. Before we support a cause, we wonder whether there is another agenda. Even when someone is genuinely trying to help, our first instinct is often suspicion. Have we become wiser, or have we simply become less trusting? And if that trust keeps disappearing, what happens to a society that can no longer believe itself? Good evening, and welcome to Make It Make Sense, where we make the stories shaping Nigeria. We take it and strip away the noise, no bias, no propaganda, just sense. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. Some of you call me Fudge. Today we are exploring one of the most valuable assets any society can possess, yet one of the easiest to lose: trust. Now here is where the conversation becomes especially interesting. Think about how many times you hear these words. I do not trust politicians. I do not trust the media. Or I do not trust the banks. Or I do not trust online sellers. And then I do not trust what I read on social media. Slowly and almost without noticing, distrust has become part of everyday conversation. Of course, some skepticism is healthy. We should ask questions. We should verify information. But there is a difference between healthy skepticism and permanent suspicion. When trust becomes scarce, everything becomes more difficult. Business slows down. Relationships become strained. Public institutions lose credibility. Even simple acts of kindness are sometimes viewed with suspicion. Now, to understand this better, let us look at how our trust is built and how it is broken. Trust rarely disappears overnight. It fades. One broken promise, one dishonest transaction, one failed institution, one public scandal after another. Eventually, disappointment accumulates. And when disappointment becomes routine, people stop expecting honesty. That is dangerous because trust is like oxygen. You hardly notice it when it is present, but you certainly notice it when it's absent. Think about traffic. If nobody trusted traffic lights, every junction will become chaos. Think about hospitals. If patients stopped trusting medical advice, healthcare will become almost impossible. Think about elections, about schools, families. Every functioning system depends on some level of trust. But let us separate reality from assumption. Some people believe that trust must be earned. That is true. But trust must also be maintained. Reputation is not built by grand speeches. It is built by consistent behavior. The same applies to institutions. People lose confidence when promises repeatedly fail to become reality. The same applies to individuals. if we casually break commitments, arrive late without explanation, spread rumors, or excuse dishonestly because everybody does it, we quietly contribute to the very culture we complain about. Trust is not only a national issue, it is also personal. Every one of us either strengthens it or weakens it through our daily choices. Hmm. So what should we take from this? Hmm. Perhaps rebuilding trust begins with smaller things than we imagine. Keeping our word, admitting mistakes, correcting misinformation when we discover it, paying people fairly, treating others with the consistency rather than convenience, holding all leaders accountable, but also holding ourselves to the same standards we expect from others. You see, trust grows slowly, yet every honest action adds another brick. Every broken promise removes one. That is why trust should never be treated as somebody else's responsibility. It belongs to all of us. And perhaps this is the question we should all carry tonight. Think about the people whose word you trust completely. Why do you trust them? Probably not because they are perfect, but because they have been consistent, reliable, dependable. Now, turn the question around. Will somebody describe you that way? Will they say your word can be trusted? Because the society we hope to build tomorrow often begins with the habits we practice today. Perhaps rebuilding Nigeria is not only about roads, policies, or elections. Perhaps it's also about rebuilding trust. One promise, one action, and one relationship at a time. So as I often say, clarity is power. Let us seek it. Let us protect it. And let us make it make sense. Have a great night.